Hi there, this is Miss Evil Knits, and I just want to wish you a very happy 4th Advent. And I thought that I should take the opportunity to let you know that I have now decided on what colors and what texture I'm going to use on my Huldra vest. That means that now I can start knitting it and at the same time record the recipe. For you that don't know what the Huldra vest is, it's a vest. It has a hood and a pocket on like a kangaroo pocket. And it's not only a vest, it's also the final episode on the series on creativity. So it's kind of the final test or the final exam to challenge your creativity if you have followed the on creativity episodes. So it's a way for you to take everything from episode 1 to 9 and put it into a vest. I think that I will be able to publish it, I would say, mid-January. I don't want to promise you that I have anything ready earlier than that, since it's Christmas and New Year's Eve and those holidays, and I don't want to feel like I have to stress something. So I think mid-January will be, I think I will be able to make it until then without stressing it, because I don't want to put any stress into either my vest or the video and the recipe. But since this is something that you need to start thinking about, I just want you to get some kind of hints. Something that you can prepare yourself. And the instruction video will give you the basic construction of the vest and also the different techniques that I am using. But that's pretty much all. You will have to, by yourself, come up with the inspiration that you want to put into the vest. And that means that you have to choose the yarn, the material, the texture, the color, and the kind of expression and the feeling that you want to communicate with your vest. So that's what I think, or I want you, all of you that want to knit this vest, that you should start thinking about it, because this inspiration part, it cannot be stressed. It have to kind of mature slowly. And that's why I haven't decided yet. Even if I have had this pattern of the Huldra vest in my mind for quite a long time, it's now I have decided on what will be my kind of official Huldra. I am going to use Nutiden yarn. I'm going to use 2 strands. I think that I will have needles around 5 or 5.5 millimeters. And I will not tell you what texture I'm going to use. But I suggest that you think about what material you're going to use. Of course, I recommend 100% wool, but you decide. If you watch episode, is it 7? I talk more about different fibers. You have to decide on what yarn you are going to use. And I would recommend a yarn kind of DK to Aran weight, so rather thick yarn. That's because I want to have something that is kind of warm and cozy. But if you want to have something thinner, then you choose something thinner. What you should do, it is to swatch, not for gauge, but to find what needles you should have to the yarn that you choose. So the needles should make a nice material, not too loose and not too dense. You should make it kind of nice, cozy material that you want to wear. And then you have to choose on color, of course. And I would recommend any color that is you. And you will need to decide on what texture you want to have. Because I will only show you kind of a plain stockinette vest, even if I have my texture. But I would not have any instruction for different textures. So I suggest that you start thinking about it. What kind of texture do you want to use? And I would recommend like something knits and pearls in different combination. I would recommend kind of cables, slipped stitches, those things. I don't think that I would recommend lace or something that is very kind of airy and a lot of yarn overs, because I don't think that that would make a nice vest. It's more for a shawl. If you want to do colors, I would recommend stripes in different ways. I wouldn't recommend stranded color works. That's because you are knitting back and forth, and it can be a little bit difficult to do that. But if you are familiar with and comfortable doing stranded work back and forth, then of course you can do that as well. So decide on kind of the look of your vest and make a swatch so that when we start knitting, you can start right away. Yeah, I think that was that. And yeah, mid-January, I think that is what I will aim for. And I give you the construction, I give you the techniques, but you have to use your own inspiration, and you also have to put in your courage to make it your Huldra vest. So I hope that you will join me in this journey, the journey towards the episode 10 and the journey to knit a Huldra vest. So if I don't see you until Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Bye bye. I forgot something. I think that the quantity of yarn that you will need, it is about a little bit less than a sweater. Because it's like a sweater with no arms, but it's a hood and it's pockets. So that means that you will need about a sweater quantity minus one arm. So that is about. For if you're using Nutiden, I would suggest around 400 grams. But if you have a little bit extra of the yarn, I suggest that you knit matching mittens or maybe matching socks. And there is also a way that you can try out the texture. And the Kura sock, I haven't removed it from YouTube. I was aiming to do it the last of October, but it's still there. And the Vila mitten is also still there. And I have now decided that I will let both the Kura sock and the Vila mitten be available on YouTube under my YouTube channel until I publish the recipe for the Huldra vest. So that means kind of mid-January. So meanwhile, you are waiting for the Huldra vest. You can knit a matching pair of mittens or a matching pair of socks. Now I think I was done. See you later!